will be with us. Our Director of Field Development USA, and Trent Tenney, Vice President of Worldwide Sales, will also be with us here this evening. But before we get going, I just want to share a little bit about this month of December and also a little bit about my story. I joined 4Life back in October 20th, 1998. So 24 plus, I'm in my 25th year now with 4Life. And one of the things that I'm so proud of is the people that I've met, the relationships that began back then, like with Nathan Larson, who you'll meet in just a minute, or many of you already know Nathan. But we met on that day, October 20th, 1998. And here we are still today, 24 plus years later. Trent Tenney, I met Trent back in 2000. Here we are today. Kevin Moore was my elite service rep back at 4Life. He was corporate at the time and was that for about, I think, the first 7 years. And here we are today together. And so this month of December, I've been talking a lot about relationships. You know, networking is a relationship business. And today, relationships can be developed many different ways. Many people are part of the social network, you know, where they develop relationships through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all these various platforms. But at the end of the day, there's no substitute for the handshake, the hug, seeing someone eye to eye, as I say in my networking days, belly button to belly button. So that's what this business is about. At the end of the day, we're all working hard. We're marketing our product, Transfer Factor, or the 4Life products, maybe ProTF, you know, whatever you're focused on marketing. But at the end of the day, we're developing relationships. And that's the glue that holds it all together. And that's the cement. And so I always encourage everybody, keep your relationship strong. Don't burn bridges. There's no reason to. You know, I was taught that by my mentor back in 1981 when I first joined the industry, you know. And I'm very proud that over the last 24 plus years, the people at 4Life that I've met, I know them today. But here's what's interesting. Within 4Life, all these people are still there. You know, the top executives, you know, they're still there. Why? Because they also understand the importance and the respect of these relationships that are developed. And so having said that, I want to begin tonight by actually reaching out to our VP of Field Development in USA, Nathan Larson. I remember the day I met Nathan there in Utah. It was interesting. 4Life had a little facility. I believe in the back they had one of those little metal doors that rolled up, you know, like a rented facility. And that's where they began. But I walked in the office when I was looking at 4Life, met Nathan that day. And here we are 24 plus years later, working together and having a great time. So Nate, if you don't mind, let's be a little nostalgic here, kind of go back and just share, you know, even some of the highlights. I mean, you've traveled a lot, you've been a lot of places, met a lot of people, been to every convention, you know, so just kind of share with us, you know, what's been going on with your 4Life journey, you know, from then till now and where we are and what's coming up next year. So I'll pass the microphone to you, Nathan. Nathan Larson.
Thank you so much, Dave. It's an honor to be here. And I just want you guys to know the reason why I have this weird background right now is my son just had a little surgery, nothing big on his hand. And where we were supposed to be out of here 2 hours ago, but something happened to the people before him and he just kept getting pushed off. So I'm sitting out in the parking lot, decided I better step outside under the lights to get a little better thing. It's a little chilly out here, but it's beautiful, nice crisp air. But oh my gosh, Dave, I remember the day that you and Gabby walked in. I think to me, everything changed that day for 4Life. You hear the story in some of the videos where Bianca stood up in her meeting and said, I will sell Transfer Factor from the street corners if I have to keep this going. Well, I would say about not too long after she said that in a meeting, Dave and Gabby came walking through those doors and everything changed from that point. And, you know, for me, that's the cool thing about 4Life has been what you're talking about, leadership, like you and Jeff and Herminio and Bonnie and Ray and everybody that have stuck around for so many years, stayed loyal to the company. And I think it stems from having owners like David and Bianca. Everything stems from them, their integrity, their love, their caring of others. They find likewise people in the office which and also finds likewise people in the field. We've been able to find so many great people. And for me, it's been so neat to see how we've trended over the years and how so many people have just stuck around. And you talk about going to conventions and traveling to all these different countries. And I think the day I joined For Life, I'd been on a plane once to go to a basketball tournament, drove to Disneyland a couple times and Vegas a couple times. And now not that long ago, me and the kids were talking, I think I'm up to 42 states that I visited, 9 different countries. And it's all because of For Life, all as a part of For Life.
How many great escape trips?
Oh, geez. We've been on about 28 great escape trips. We got 2 more amazing ones this year. I mean, I think we've probably got our best schedule we've ever had this year. The Bahamas trip to this brand new resort, and then an Alaskan cruise. I mean, for me, Dave, looking at nostalgia and then coming into 2020, I just got to say, I am so optimistic about 2023 for the For Life as a whole, but specifically for the North American English market. We've got this group right here that's doing so many great things. So many big things are happening. We've got announcements coming the first part of January, more announcements coming in February. We've got 2 great escape trips that are off the insane great escape trips. We've got Ignite meetings. I don't have these finalized. They're not final, okay? But we're looking around March 15th for Northern California, the Sacramento area, and April 15th for the Nashville area. So they're not final. I'll let you know once they're done. The events, people are working very hard to get these locked down. And then we're looking to do some more Ignites in the fall. So, you always talk about working from event to event. So 6 months after convention, approximately we'll have Ignites in the spring. And then 6 months later, we'll have them in the fall. And then 6 months later, approximately, we'll have convention. And we have this new rank of presidential elite. You guys, you got to think, it's not just one rank, okay? It's not just one rank, because in order to be a presidential elite, you got to have diamond elites. In order to be a silver now, you got to have presidential elites. In order to be a gold elite, you got to have silvers. In order to be a platinum elite, you have to have gold elites. So it's all interlinked together. And I just see this being just such a big motivator. I really see us having this massive 2023. And over the years, we've seen it. Every company, for the most part, we've stayed steady growing, but every company has up and down. We took off, Dave. First surge was you and Jeff and everything going on there. And then we kind of leveled off a little bit. And then the Spanish came on. And then they kind of leveled off a little bit. And then Southeast Asia came on. And then, and it's kind of like the cool thing about For Life is we're so diverse and we're so unique. We've got so many great products and things all around the world that it seems like if ever like one group kind of slows down, and because everybody plateaus for a little bit, nobody stays at a growth curve. But it seems like every time the group that's growing levels off, a new group comes in and skyrockets. And I think that's us this year. I think that North American English group is going to be the group that takes off. We have such good leadership. Look at the leadership on this call. We have so many good leaders in this market. And, people ask me all the time, why don't we have a bigger English group? And that's because you go where your leaders take you. And over the years, they took us to Japan and to New Zealand and to, all the Spanish markets, and then to Southeast Asia and all these great things. But I think the leadership is bringing us back to the U.S. English market right now, just in time for 2023, with so many big things happening. You guys got to be ready, be on your toes. Danny's going live on January 3rd, 9 a.m. on the U.S. Sales Team Facebook page. He's got several big announcements of some of the things we're going to do in the first part of the year. And then I'm kind of giving you a little bit of a hint here to something but I can't get into any details. I'll get in big trouble. But 1st of February, we have another big announcement. I imagine it's going to be February 1st, 9 a.m. U.S. Sales Team page. We're going to go live to tell you about another big announcement. That's going to be something big that's going to help us really motivate, inspire, and push people to get through the first half of the year. I mean, we've got so much happening. We've got the 3 great products we just launched. In addition to that, one of them has been on back order because it was so successful, but it should be first or second week of January. We're waiting on the testing to come back from our labs. What we do at For Life, we never release products without being tested. The products are in our warehouse in quarantine status, and as soon as the testing comes back that meets all the criteria, Immune Boost is going to be released, and you're going to be able to buy it again. I'm the same as Dave. I loaded up on it. I've got a couple little sicknesses going through the family right now, and we've been going like crazy, and everybody's getting better, and it's just awesome, you guys. Just so much happening. And just one more thing about nostalgia, Dave. Just everybody on this call. I love them. They're just my friends. I mean, whether they're 6, 7 years I've known them and loved them and traveled the world with them, or, going on 25 years like you and I are. I mean, it's just the relationships that come from what we've done, and being a part of something that is bigger than us, being a part of something. I mean, I joke about it all the time. I've been all over these Spanish markets, to Korea, to Vietnam, to all these crazy places. I don't speak anything but English, but I just feel so loved and so taken care of, and everybody's always there. And it's, I think, because we all have that same, we all have For Life. We all have the love of For Life. We have this mission that just bonds us together, that allows us to do special things. And 25 years in business, and we've done so many amazing things. And like I say, I feel like 2023 is going to be another one of those breakout years. I just have that feeling in my bones. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait, you guys. So Dave, back to you, but I love you guys. Let's do it. 2023, challenge yourself, set goals, challenge yourself, go for something more, because we can do it. This is our year. Let's make it happen.
That's right. You're absolutely right, Nate. Nate, I got a quick question for you. You mentioned Presidential Elite. When they launch that next month, there's going to be some people that will be Presidential Elite immediately, correct?
Correct. And that'll give them one of their 3 out of 6 months to win the trip.
So they automatically will win a trip to the Bahamas or Alaska.
Well, when they do 3, they've got to do 3 of the first 6 months.
Out of the
January.
6.
Yep, absolutely.
So if they get it January, February, and March, they've got the trip.
They can be in the Bahamas in May, or they can be on the Alaska trip in September.
So you guys, I mean, there you go. I mean, Presidential Elite. If you're in between Presidential and Bronze, you got it. A trip. I think that's awesome. So Nate, thanks, and I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, I'll be up there in Utah, actually, possibly next month. So
yeah, let me know, baby. Can't wait to see you. We'll take good care of you. Come and see us.
All right. Thanks, brother. All right. So let's now, we're going to jump again. Actually, we're hearing from Utah a bit here. I actually want to go to a gentleman that, back again in October, I joined For Life. It was just, I think, a month or two after that, he joined For Life and became my elite service rep. And we worked together for a number of years before he actually came out in the field and became a distributor. As Gold International Diamond, we've traveled all over from, Africa, Kenya, Africa together, Rio de Janeiro, Iguazu Falls, the Bahamas. We've been all over the place together. So anyhow, I want to pass the microphone to my good friend, and I'm proud to be his sponsor, Kevin Moore. Kev, take it away.
Hey, thank you so much, Dave. Listen, I've been with this company, where I used to have hair here and here. We just need a transfer factor for hair follicles, and I'm going to be purchasing that like Immune Boost. But I've kind of grown up and grown old in this company. And I want to just share just some quick insight to what I think 2023 is. And it starts first and foremost with our founders. And I feel inspired to tell a little story, because I want you to know what kind of home you have in For Life. And I'm going to try not to get emotional. It's my mom's birthday today. She's been gone for 12 years. And this story, I think, tells you what For Life is about. But when my mom started getting sick and she was getting on kidney dialysis, I knew we needed to make a move. And she was in the house. It was too big of a house. It had stairs. And I went to her and I said, Mom, we need to get you into a single unit, ground level condo. And she resisted that because that was her house. She had been there for quite some time. And her next door neighbors were the people that she was most upset about potentially leaving behind. Those next door neighbors were David and Bianca Lisenby. And it's because they were the kind of people that just made you feel like family, that took care of you. I told my mom, I said, I love you, Mom, but as your oldest son, as a widow, my father passed away when I was 5 years old. My mom spent 25 years waiting to go back and be reunited with my father. And I just said, Mom, we have to do this. This is something that I know you don't want, but we've got to do it for your health and for your future. And we finally decided to do that, sold our house, decided to move to a condo in the 1st of December, 12 15 years ago now. And I went to pick her up as we were moving, and she started to cry. And I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she just said, well, I'm just sad because next month, Bianca Lisenby always does a Christmas luncheon where she invites everybody from the neighborhood. And now I'm not going to be in the neighborhood. And I just thought, well, that's kind of a silly reason to be so sad. But I said, Mom, it's okay. I'll come get you. I'll take you to a Christmas luncheon. And I remember a few weeks later, she just crying to the point that I couldn't understand. An emotional time. I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she said, Bianca Lisenby just called me up and she's on her way to pick me up for the neighborhood Christmas luncheon. And, I'm sorry. I think my internet's coming in and out. Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. You
Okay.
you froze for just a minute, but you're good.
Yeah. So that's just a short story, but Bianca Lisenby, that's who we have at David and Bianca Lisenby. She picked up my mom. So she had moved. That's the kind of heart and soul that we have that's what we have with Dave and Gabriel. I've been with this company now for 23 years. I've seen it from the inside. 7 years I worked at the corporate office. In 7 years, nothing that For Life ever did made me think that this wasn't the place to be. I sat in on internal meetings. I saw executives in stressful situations, globally expanding. And I said to myself, if they're operating with this kind of integrity from the inside, I can feel confident putting my business, my future, my family, and my goals attached to getting on the right side of the right company. That's where all of you are, except for Trent. Okay. But this is a great opportunity to go out and to build this business. The sky's the limit. And honestly, there's been years going in as this time of year, we reflect and we resolve, right? Reflections and resolutions. There's been times that we've been going into New Year's and I'm like, oh, this will be a good year. It's been a long time since I felt the energy, the passion, the product evolution, the compensation plan. We are set explosion in 2023. And what Nathan said, I will add my witness. It's here. It's North America. It's with all of you. And I'm just super, super excited to be a part of it. For Life is together building people. We've got a company that's been around because it's founded on founders with integrity, with people like Dave and Gabriella and Jennifer. And there's just so many. I just name all of you. I mean, Omar. This is a group and a team that is ready to help you take the next step. And 2023 is going to be the year For Life. So I'm just super excited to be a part of it. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Kev. I got a question for you as well. I always have questions. Before you became a For Life affiliate, had you traveled outside of the United States?
Only one time, and that's because I went to Malaysia to train the staff, Michael C. and Shirley Tan, on the compensation plan. And
but that was still with For Life.
It was still with For Life, but I tell you, I thought I'm almost 6'5". My first time traveling internationally, I thought I made the expert move of getting the very back seat in the entire aircraft because I thought this is perfect. Nobody's going to be kicking back. It doesn't. Yeah, it does. It doesn't actually recline. So I had this little short old lady sit in front of me. She reclined all the way backwards, could not recline backwards. I was behind me right next to a lavatory, longest 23 hours of my life. So yeah, that was the first time I traveled.
I heard a pilot once call that animal class.
Yeah, that's it.
But but you have traveled with becoming a For Life distributor. It's enabled you to also see a lot of the world and develop relationships outside of the country. So you've been all over the place. I mean, you've been to, I know, Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia,
30 plus countries. I grew up in a small town in Utah that had one traffic light. People had to get to my house. You go to the traffic light, you take a left. They're like, what traffic light? It was the only traffic light. And now I've been to 30 different countries because of this business. So it really is remarkable.
That's awesome. I mean, people dream of being able to see the world, to have a life of abundance. And that's what our opportunity provides those that catch the vision and are willing to travel the journey. Yeah, it's effort. Yeah, it requires some work. But you know what? It is so rewarding. It's incredible. And on top of that, the personal growth, who you become as you build your business, because you grow yourself as you grow your business. And of course, you grow your income. So, Kev, thanks very much. Appreciate you being on with us this evening. Let's go now to another corporate gentleman that Kevin just said that he's on the wrong side of the fence, but no, we actually need him. I met Trent Taney back in 2000, I believe it was. I have a picture, Trent. I think you might have seen that picture where you and I look like millennials. back then. We're standing around David Lisenby's desk. It was right after the new building that David acquired back in 2000. But Trent, the one thing about Trent, I'll say, many of you might have heard me do my magic of colors training, where I talk about different colors. I identify with people through colors. Trent is one of those he's a thinker, very cerebral. He's thinking about things all the time. I mean, he'll know statistics, he'll know what's going on, in various parts of the country. And I was just up in Utah recently, and we discussed focusing a bit where I live, Phoenix and Vegas. And by the way, that is going to be a big focus of mine, 2023. But I always enjoy listening to Trent because he always brings information to the table that helps us all in building our business. And Trent's the vice president of worldwide sales. So Trent, I'm going to pass the microphone to you and just kind of share a little bit. I know you're actually related to David Lisenby as well. So if you can just kind of share with us the connection there and a little bit about, your evolution through 4Life and what you've learned as well from 4Life as a company and where you see us going from here on out.
Well, thank you very much, Dave, for the invitation, and blessings to everybody here. It's an interesting time of the year where we get to reflect on where we're at, our blessings that we have, our families. And for me personally, this call is actually helping me think back to where I was about 25 years ago. I joined in April of 2000, Dave. So I think that's kind of about maybe a year and a half or so after you joined, almost 2 years.
Right.
I was in the health publishing field, and prior to joining 4Life Research, we ran a publishing company that published. We had probably 200 to 300 publications and it was books, online articles, it was pamphlets, it was research stuff, everything that went into the book trade, the health store trade. We published niche things for companies such as Nature Sunshine and other companies who brought products to market. But it was really third-party publications on alternative health, areas where we're not getting addressed in the marketplace. Prior to that, I was in financial services. I worked for Bank of America. I was in their private banking group. Out of school, I was going to be in the stock market field, but that crashed, and I got my licenses, but I went to the retail banking trade and worked for Bank of America for a number of years. Then eventually was asked to join a publishing company. But in about 1998, David, who is my first cousin, by the way, had brought a few of us over to his home, and he said he wanted to talk to us about something that he was thinking about doing. And this would have been probably 6 months, Dave, to the official start of the company. He said that he had come across something extremely interesting. You guys know what I'm going to talk about, but he had come across an obscure patent that had identified this molecule, this series of, this range of molecular weight molecules that are found in all of us, that are in high proportions in colostrum. And that is, of course, what was named transfer factors that were originally discovered in 49. Well, I had been publishing. I was a publisher. I was a marketer, a publisher, but I was signing contracts with publishers to talk about everything from minerals to vitamins to nutrition to profiles of plants, everything under the sun, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things out there that people were getting to market. you got to remember that the first time people encapsulated herbs, it was in the 70s. So here we were in the mid 90s. This was kind of early, but people were discovering that, hey, we can actually bring these plants to market. We can study them. We can find out the benefits of them. We can, get access to vitamins and minerals and things that were healthy for our bodies. Well, so I kind of knew about the industry. I knew that it was super intriguing. It was growing very fast. But Dave told us about what he had discovered and what he was hoping to potentially bring to market, which was this molecule. And of course, when we asked him questions, what does this molecule do? What's its purpose? What do we know about it? There were several thousand studies on it. It had been studied for a long period of time. It just had not been brought to market. It was not taken to market by anybody who took it seriously, even though they were studied and very formed. But for me, the intrigue of that was all of the other supplements that we were putting out in publications had components to them that were very supportive of the body. But there was not one nutrient, not one supplement out there that served the purpose of communicating immune memory from one entity to another. There was nothing out there that could recognize or remember a potential threat or a pathogen. There's nothing like that. So the concept of being able to consume a molecule, a peptide that had already gained experience and to be able to benefit from that, and it had been proven that it does, was like, are you kidding me? If this is true, I want to be part of it. So we did some publishing for Dave in the early years. We published some things on transfer factors. At that time, we knew a lot about their effect on being able to activate natural killer cells, among other cells in the immune system profile. But I knew that at the time, while not a lot of people were talking about the immune system, it was only really talked about when the discussion of HIV came up, but very little public knowledge about really the immune system. I believe what David said, which was there's going to come a day when everybody's going to know about the immune system. Everybody's going to know about it, I guarantee you, because the world's becoming smaller. Everything's traveling quicker. And we are getting further and further away from natural immunity because we are living more and more in sterile environments, and we're getting away from consuming this nutrient. Many people do not breastfeed their children anymore. And so the need would get greater. There would be times, and I said, well, Dave, call me if you ever need help in that. And I got a phone call, a couple of years later. And right before that, we had started, using transfer factors in my family. We had a young family. I had a daughter, I had a son, just 2 years younger. Then I had twin boys. And daughter, son, breastfed, twin boys, not breastfed. Complete difference in their health, complete difference in their ability to overcome those things, and a lot of pink medicine on those twins. So we have absolutely firsthand experience about what happens to a family, in a family where there are different experiences with the children, and some children were given breast milk, some children were not given breast milk, and taking transfer factors and implementing those supplements into the children's life, we know firsthand the change that occurred in our family. And I won't go into all the details, but ever since then, we have been a family of transfer factors in our family. My kids and even grandkids probably just roll their eyes because I always go to transfer factors first. But I knew, and I believe Dave, and it's been confirmed to me many, many times that it was going to be a company that would be timely for people who wanted to get involved in it in any fashion they wanted to get involved, whether just to consume products or take it to market. The other thing that was intriguing to me is he didn't really want to go retail with this. He didn't want to put it on a shelf. He didn't want to just depend on wholesalers with hopes that they would give shelf space to it, but that he wanted to involve entrepreneurs, families, mothers of families, that control the health of their families and be able to introduce this product into the marketplace by real people who had real desire to change the paradigm of health. And to me, with my experience and growing up in my family and seeing my parents and grandparents go down a different path with their health, I was absolutely motivated to help with this cause. And so, Dave, when I met you, that was not long before David invited me to come over and help with For Life, mainly in the marketing area, and to be able to get the education side moving and help people get going. He saw Dave Lisenby and Bianca saw a day that we would be able to plant a foundation in this company that will endure for many, many, many decades. Now we're 2.5 decades in. I was thinking about this today, Dave. I just was listening to Dave Lisenby in some meetings recently where he talked about a challenge to all of us, all of you and us at corporate, to get introduce transfer factor into 3 million more homes by 2030. This is a man that's extremely serious about getting this product worldwide and getting it moving through the generations. We're 25 years in. Many people are older. Many people are coming in new, but there's a whole generation of people that have never heard of transfer factors that need to hear about it. He's very serious about continuing this into the future, and not only with selling it, but also studying it and continue to research on from inside the company, our affiliates at the universities, and people who want to be part of For Life, and we continue to do that. So the foundation, to me, it's just the foundation that's built. When you build a house, that's the footprint, that's the foundation. The walls, they're kind of coming up now because more and more people are joining. More and more people know that the transfer factor products and the therapies work. They have a real place. It's a real thing. There's a reason why this is given to you when you're born into this world. This supplement, these proteins have come through thousands and thousands of years. They've evolved to meet the needs of the people on the earth at this time. And they will always be there. And there's never going to be a time in this earth that we live in this mortality when transfer factors are not going to be essential for the health of all of us, because they are the communication cells that tell the other cells what to do, what to watch out for, what to remember, and what to be, and what to be doing. And so we will continue to study this science. We will continue to make our commitment that we're going to not do this through Costco. We're not going to do this through Rite Aid. We're not going to do this through Walgreens. We're going to do this through a network of passionate people who want to be committed to getting the word out to everybody in their communities and talk about it. And so we'll continue on the education and the research side. We're going to continue on the side of the sales side and making sure that opportunity is viable for people. We are always going to be monitoring that sweet spot where people can talk to people and educate them, staying in our lane of what we can talk about in dietary supplements, but make sure that transfer factors and these types of things are always out there for people to take and consume through our network. So we're absolutely committed to, decade upon decade in the future of making this happen permanently in the marketplace and making sure that For Life Research is always known as the transfer factor and the immune system company out there, because we do believe without a shadow of a doubt that what we have, nature's first food, in its potent form, the way we filter it, the way we mine it, the way we bring it to market, is absolutely what is needed and what will provide value to people who give it a try. So that's my story in a short capsule, Dave. I'm like Nathan, extremely excited about our calendar in 2023. Every single month, you will notice that whether you're in the United States or in Mexico or Peru or in Europe or in Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea, there's always going to be something that our working affiliates who are trying to build their organization will be able to point to get people excited about enrolling, ordering a special. There's always going to be something out there for them to point to that particular month to reach out to people. And we're working very, very hard and diligently, as well as creating rewards and incentives to be able to build correctly So your structure, all the work you're doing in your organization, you're building a structure that can last for a long, long time. We do not want people to come into the business, work hard for 6 months, and then 6 months later, their structure's gone. We want people to build correctly. This is why we have the builder bonus. It's not really for the bonus so much. That's just the icing on the cake. It's so that we build correctly, so that we have long-term residual income, and it makes our efforts worth it for a long time. We are going to always be, our success is always going to be hinging on our reputation. Always. The reputation of the product, the reputation of the quality of the product, the reputation of whether or not it works for you, the reputation on whether the compensation plan performs for you and your efforts are worth it. And if we can do all of those things together, we'll continue to have another 25 years of success moving forward. And so we are very principled that way. We stay in our debt-free lane. We don't have debt at 4Life. We don't want debt. We reinvest a lot in our future, but we are not going to be we're not going to be a leveraged company. We're just not going to do it. So when there's recessions and when there's all this noise out there and other companies are struggling and falling off of the map, 4Life will not fall off the map because we're ready to weather any storm that we need to do. And that's also commitment to you and your business. I mean, why would you want to be with a company who's going to go out and gamble in Vegas and not be prepared for headwinds? We're very prepared for headwinds. We're very prepared for all of these things. We secure our supply chain to make sure we'll always have transfer factors. We don't leave that to hocus pocus. We want to make sure that our encapsulation facilities are ours, so we don't have to get in back of another company or whatever. And a lot of investment has been made in the last 5-10 years in terms of the manufacturing and the supply chain to make sure that we can meet our commitments to all of you. So whether you're new to the company in the last couple of years, whether you've been with us 5 or 10 years or 25 years like Dave, it's a company that you can absolutely stand behind. And I think there's a reason why Danny Lee is proud. I mean, that's why the Direct Selling Association wants Danny to speak at every event and talk about the principles that we adhere to. And that's why David Lisenby and Bianca Lisenby are so looked up to in the industry. It's just a sturdy company built on principles. So I could go on forever. You don't want to hear all that. I love 4Life. I love it. It is literally something me and my family talk about all the time, because it's just a core part of who we are and what we do. I love the people that we work with. I love the Lisenbys. And these are real people. These are awesome people. They're family people. They talk about you all the time. And every time I speak to them, they're talking about how are our people doing. And they want to know about the real world out there. And they want to know about how people are feeling, and very, very concerned that people and their families are moving forward. So appreciate the time, Dave. If you don't have any other questions for me, or if you do, that's great, but I appreciate the time.
I've got a couple, but one's a comment though. You may remember when David Lisenby invested, you talk about reinvesting into the business. There were some things that we had to outsource, to third parties, even encapsulation. Mm-hmm. I remember when David purchased that first encapsulation machine. Do you remember that?
Yep.
That was exciting.
You know what's interesting? Dave and Bianca, I don't know if you know this, Dave and Bianca mortgaged their house to start the company. Like, they put it all on the line, and they did that. And you've probably heard the story about Bianca, but when you do something like that, that it's all in, and they did that. And so from that point on, it was all about making sure that all that work that was put in was going to be worth it. But Dave's an entrepreneur, but he's also a very wise man, and he understands good principles and good business practices. And so, we are proud to be debt-free, but we're also proud to be able to, as we move forward, reinvest in the company. Another example of that is our intellectual property profile in our portfolio. We have literally dozens and dozens of patents all over the world that protect us, from other companies coming and stealing our intellectual property, our trademarks, our branding. and many trade secrets that we have. But that takes money, takes investments, and the company's is continually investing in those areas, Dave.
Another thing, Trent, you talked about recession. My experience has always been that for us, recessions are good. Remember, we had that DVD, Recession Proof Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Recessions, when that happens, people are looking for extra ways to make some income. And we hear some of these networkers talking about it's true, millions of dollars we've made with For Life. We've got over 200 millionaires now in For Life. But the average person out there, an extra $500 a month during tough times can be life-changing. Over 80% of bankruptcies could be prevented with an extra $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. So, there are some tough times ahead when it comes to the global economy. We need to take advantage of that and show people we have a recession-proof opportunity here. Debt-free company, like you said. But Trent, one other thing, I think you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say I totally agree with you. I think recessions are a normal part of economy, right? It's kind of like you have to prune your tree before you hit the fall. In the spring, it's going to turn green again. They're very normal. They cause people to readjust. The companies that are not healthy will fall off or get absorbed. And you want to be prepared for them, but also they're normal. And to your point, Dave, we live in a world where families need to have more than one income. And they should be involved in the gig economy. They should be involved in something they're passionate about. And most people are passionate about their health. So we feel like if people enter the company and they know they should be eating properly, supplementing properly, why not get involved with a company that's going to allow you to earn your products back very quickly, even if you only do it a few hours a week? Because we have literally the most relevant product in the supplement chain. That is transfer factor. Because the immune system is the number one priority system of the body. You don't have an immune system, the discussion is over. And so that is the number one priority. So we really believe everybody should be exposed to this and think about it.
Very, very true. Quick question. Nathan mentioned this earlier about diversity. And I remember, I think it was 2000, right when you were joining For Life, the first country that we actually went into was New Zealand. And that, I brought that to the company, and I'm very grateful that they, went ahead and obliged, and we went off to New Zealand and got started there. And then Japan was next, and then that's when Puerto Rico came in 2000. And from there, the leadership took us off into the Dominican Republic and on down into Mexico and Central America, South America. And during that time, I think it was like 03, 04, we hit Southeast Asia with Singapore, Malaysia, and so on. For Life diversified very quickly. And so what ended up happening is you've got, as a company, sure, we're doing a lot of volume. We're working up to hit that $1 billion mark, which is a huge milestone. But when you think about it, the USA is a sitting gold mine. I've been to 106 countries playing follow the leader, which led me, all over out there. Looking at it now, this country really has been untouched. So I'd just like you to kind of share your feelings about that.
Well, 100%. Since the 70s, there's been a gradual increase of awareness on healthy eating. Not only thinking about the allopathic method, but as the generations going forward is taking more proactive role in our health. And so there's that part of it, right? Where people are saying, even doctors are now saying, no, you also need to take control of your health as well. Don't wait till you get to this point, but be doing these things. But you talk to any millennial out there, they're thinking differently than we were 25 years ago. Right? They really are.
Well, I grew up on antibiotics. Everything is taking an antibiotic for this, for that, and the miracle cure.
You didn't do a thing until you got to that point, and we weren't talking about anything until that point. It's different now. Walk down the aisle in your grocery store, see how many times you can read a quote unquote immune claim on food. Immune claim, and the mentality is different. And so there's that part of it, is the awareness of the systems of the body. And then there's the part of it where people in this country spend a good percentage of their income in the health space. That could be the gym, that could be their, their healthy tea, that could be their supplements they take, it could be whatever, but everybody spends in that space. And so if we can continue to educate people about the importance of making sure the immune system is priority one, and you have the ability to tap into this molecule, there's a huge opportunity. There's a lot of disposable income in the country compared to other parts of the world in many cases. And very few people have actually heard about transfer factors, but it is changing. It is changing. Practitioners are starting to hear about it. It's getting out there gradually. We're pushing that envelope. And, my guess is 15, 20 years from now, you're going to hear it in the vernacular a lot more than we are now, without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think that we've kind of been ahead of the curve a bit when it comes to, the transfer factor and people learning about it, educating people about it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but doctors can go on PubMed and there's thousands of studies now on transfer factors.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been studied all over the world. It's been studied. I talk to a lot of people who, doctors in it are interesting. They want to read on their own, but typically when people are able to point to them when they're talking about their physician about what they're taking, and they said, yeah, this is I'm supplementing with transfer factors, which are, peptides for the immune system, communication molecules. Read about it in PubMed. It's right on your shelf over there, because they all have a copy. Then when they do bother to read it, they're fascinated. You just can't ignore the studies. And so I think this latest study is one of the coolest studies we've ever had, and that will be published for all of your uses in terms of the detail of the study very soon here. But something we've always known or suspected is the activation time, where we're looking at, at a very short period of time, a 48-hour activation period, depending on the amount and the weight, but very short period of activation for those cells to start taking action when transfer factors introduced into the body. So we take great care to make sure those transfer factors are active from their source, and that when you consume them, they're still active, and they will activate being consumed through the digestive tract or however you take those. So yeah, it's exciting. The studies continue. And like I said, there's a reason why it's the first food we get.
Right. I don't think a lot of people, Trent, realize as well what goes into bringing the product to us. The testing, for example, everything is tested. When you look at the bottom of a bottle, there's a batch number. All right. Every batch is tested by 4Life. They won't release it to us unless it's tested and proven to do, what we claim it does. So, and I love the fact as well that 4Life, again, reinvesting these studies that are being done. Studies aren't cheap, so I'm really excited about these new studies, the transfer factor study, but also the gold factor. Gold factor, there's another gold mine. We can talk all night about gold factor as well. So I'm very excited about gold factor. In fact, we're going to be doing a toast here in a few minutes when we finish up. So everyone get your cups ready. I was going to toast gold factor, and Gabby says, you want a whole cup of gold factor? So I've got my Rio Vita here. But anyhow, Trent, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate, the last, 20 plus years of working together, and looking for another 20. Our kids were babies when we started, So Brandon's 22 years old now.
And it's funny, they're always wiser than we are. That's something about that 20 to 20 years. They just know everything, don't they?
They do. They think they do.
Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Likewise, Trent. Thank you very much. So let's jump now. We're going to go over to Florida. I met Jennifer many years ago, actually. I don't know if it was at convention or if it was actually in Florida, but Gabby and I have done a number of trips out with the team out there with their team. and done some meetings. Jennifer, do you remember the time where we dressed up as I think Gabby wore like a Navy, I wore like a Marinero. We had that party, little get together party together out there in Florida. Then it was in Orlando.
Yes.
So, but anyhow, again, I'm so grateful for the relationships that we develop in this business, and you have to have fun too. That's one thing about For Life. We always open our convention with a party, and we end with a party. You want to have a good time in this business. But Jennifer, we appreciate your leadership, everything that you've done and continue to do for the team, for everybody. You're always so giving, and these awesome flyers. I love the flyers that you come up with, you create. So, but just, a lot of people don't know your story. So if you don't mind, just share real quick your story as well. And just take the microphone, anything you'd like to share with us, and get everyone ready for 2023 as well.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dave. I want to first thank Nathan for being on here and taking from his time from his family. I mean, his son was getting surgery. I mean, somebody else would have been like, hey, I can't make it. I mean, that would have been me. I mean, I'm a mom, so I understand him. But Trent, thank you, Kevin. To have you part of this team is amazing. I've always admired you, and I've seen you for a while. Dave, I started For Life when I was only 24 years old. I am 42 today. This was literally my first network marketing company that I started. But it wasn't me, it was my husband. And I was like the bad one, the one that didn't believe in it because I went to college. I wanted to be in the FBI. That was me. I wanted to be bad because I wasn't bad. I was too good. So I liked those bad cops because I wasn't bad. But I never even made it to a 911 dispatcher. Right? And so my dreams went down, Dave. And then when they presented us this opportunity, I couldn't see myself. I was like, no. I told my husband, put my dad to sell pills because I ain't selling pills. And, sarcastically, because my dad, I was like, he's not going to do this. But mind you, today, my dad is presidential. He has one of my biggest legs, actually. He has bronze and bronze elites under him, and pretty soon silver. So you never know who you speak to. Sometimes it's even your own parent. And that's one of my biggest leaders is my dad. And we started, Dave, slowly just talking. And I would have never known that what my husband was presented to when we were just newlyweds. I was 24, I believe Joe was 28, would change our life. Today, I'm a full-time mom. I don't work for anybody. I raised both of my kids. I'm sorry, my voice leaves. I'm a testimony of why we need Boost 911. And we don't have it, Trent, we need it. I've had the privilege of being able to be with my son in his hardest moments. My son was diagnosed with dyslexia, and it was a very hard moment for me when I had to pull him out of school and give him homeschooling, and then COVID came. But I had that privilege, Dave, to be able to take him out and bring a teacher to the house and have somebody help him. Today, my son is a totally different child, thanks to Goal Factor, number one, and then to the opportunity that I was able to be here with him. So I don't know if you're a mom that's on here, has children, or maybe you're a grandma, or maybe you have nephews and nieces. This is for everybody, guys. I mean, I would have never known, what would have been of me. I had all my dreams were down the drain when the FBI told me you don't qualify. And I said, well, what am I going to do now? I went to college. I got student loans. But you know what? Sometimes there's opportunities that come that we don't even think they're going to change us. But you know what? I would have never imagined in a million years where my life went. Being able to be like, you know what? I'm leaving to Canada. I don't know. I already told Claudia, I'm going to Canada. I haven't gone this year, but I'm going to Canada. Just to have that freedom to be like, I'm out. And my family, some of the family members that don't believe, sometimes they call us like, where you at now? And every time we win the Great Escapes, Dave, we went to Bora Bora. Okay, picture this.
Nice.
Picture this. Two broke people got married. Okay, they had no time, like me and my husband. We had bills over $4,000 a month, and we didn't even make $4,000 a month. So don't even ask me how we paid them, but we went bankrupt. And then all of a sudden, me and my husband are on a Great Escape in Bora Bora, sitting down like we were Kim Kardashian and Puff Daddy, because my husband's dark skin. So I call him Puff Daddy. So just imagine that, and then I wouldn't pay nothing. All we did was work and qualify. And we worked our butt off, and we won it twice. The first one, we took the trip. The second one, they gave us the money. It was just like, woo, bring it on, bring it on. And I was like, what a blessing. Sometimes we have this in our hands and we treat it, Dave, so small. Like we have something small. Guys, this is not a little book that we just throw around and sell. This is something that we construct, that we make it big. And maybe today you're not seeing the results you want, but let me tell you something. When this explodes, it explodes. In 2023, me and my husband, like, you know what? We're going for gold elite. We're taking our leaders for that silver. We're going to Alaska. I told my husband, you better do something because we can't win Alaska as a gold. But you got your code. I said, you got your ID number. You better work your butt off because we're going to Alaska with your ID number, not with mine. Okay. And I bother him because it's me. I'm the gold. And I think he's not even a diamond, or maybe, I don't know. So he has a lot of work to do. I said, we are going to Alaska. So I don't know who else here has that goal, but we put that goal to all of our leaders. Who wants to go to Alaska? Let me tell you, I want to go to Alaska. So y'all better get on the train. We need to go make like a big noise and drive for like crazy. Everybody else, whoever wants to go to the Bahamas, go to the Bahamas, but I'm going to Alaska. Okay, I want to go to Alaska. So let's all jump on that. We have the opportunity is do the plan and be like, let's just do this. Let's go out there and talk to everybody. Guys, everybody needs this. Everybody needs this. And I think sometimes we just are too afraid of just speaking out. And I'm thankful that Dave and Gabby are on this team now. We started this Zoom, like I said yesterday, small. And many times I wanted to give up and I was like, you know what, this is just not working. But and I already went through that once in my life when all my dreams were kind of like crushed down. I'm like, this is not going to work. But my husband, he's always the one that's always like, Jennifer, no, don't give up. And look, if I would have given up, we wouldn't be on here tonight, Dave. You know, and Omar, thank you. I've always said it. Omar, Dan, Amy, Arnaldo, Iraida, all the guys that form part of the original group that we started. Thank you, because it wouldn't be possible. You don't do nothing by yourself here. It's a teamwork. And you know what the nice thing is? Many of us are not even in the same line. We're all cross lines. When we learn how to all work together as a team, and don't matter what group you're in, doesn't matter where you're from, what state, what country, what religion, when you all work together, big things happen, Dave. And that's why we're all here today. Look how many people were on the Zoom. I'm over here like, yay. And a goal is 100. Dave, get ready because we're going to get to that goal. I don't know what you're
for sure.
I don't know what you're going to do, but we got to do something. So thank you, Dave. I think it's something awesome. I'm ready for this. I'm ready. I'm ready than ever. And with all these awesome products, I could turn 50 and I'm still going to look good. So let's do this. Let's do this.
We're all ready, Jennifer. You know, look, we're all looking forward to 2023, and it's going to be an awesome year. You know, with everything that 4Life has brought to the table, with the energy that we've got, with this group that we've started up, really, the USA, again, you guys, it is a gold mine. You know, Jennifer, I do want to make a comment, though. You said something about with your FBI career and, you know, taking on student loans and how that just didn't work out. You know, there's a quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. Bob Hoskins. He's passed away, an actor. He's in a movie with Jennifer Lopez. Many of you might have seen the movie Made in Manhattan. There's a part where Jennifer Lopez gets fired from her job being a hotel maid, basically. She gets fired. Well, because of what she had done, Bob Hoskins got fired as well, but he wasn't at fault. He really didn't do anything wrong. He just knew what she had done, but they fired him. So when she was turning in her keys, you know, basically leaving the job, she looked at Bob Hoskins and he said, "Oh, no, not you too." And he looked at her and he said, "You know, sometimes we're forced into directions that we ought to have found for ourselves." And I really believe that in this business, that's what happens to a lot of people, because no one goes to school. You went to school to study law enforcement. Well, who goes to school to study network marketing? I don't think anybody here did, because it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So the point is that we've all been kind of pushed in this direction because someone shared it with us. I say we got pushed in the pool. You know, you've all heard my crocodile story. In fact, I might finish tonight with my crocodile story. But anyhow, here we are. We're all in this pool together, and we're teaching each other. Some people, you know, are better swimmers than others, but anybody can learn to swim. We're all in the 4Life pool together. And it doesn't matter if you get from one side to the other by doing the breaststroke, backstroke, butterfly, whatever it is you do, you just keep going. And that's how you get to the other side. You know, it really is that simple. Yes. So, but, you know, we're so grateful for your leadership and everything that you've done, Jennifer, your energy that you bring, you know, your consistency, and just for holding everybody together. So, you know, thank you so much for that and for hanging in there. You know, and then and Claudia Bortkus had been telling me about Omar and about you. And so I was just kind of hem-hawing around, and then all of a sudden I thought, you know what? I want to get in on this. So let's have some fun, 2023, everyone. So Jennifer, again, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to finish up here. We've been just over an hour. And what I want to do is I want to just turn it over to my wife real quick, Gabby. Our story is that, let me just check real quick. Dana Lombardi was going to try to get on with us tonight. She got caught in bad weather. She's traveling. And as I'm sure many people out there got caught, here we are in sunny San Diego. A lot of people out there have been snowed in. But Gabby and I, we met actually just before I had joined For Life. We were dating. She had never heard about network marketing, really wasn't familiar with it. And, when For Life came along, I asked her to go with me to Utah to meet David Lisenby because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. My life was in limbo as far as a career goes. I'd been on top, I'd been on bottom, the view's much better on top. I'd seen the good, the bad, the ugly in this industry. I was with two companies before For Life that crashed and burned, and I didn't want anything to do with that, nor did I want anything to do with those people, because I felt that network marketing never failed me, ever. I love the business model. It's an awesome business model when you have the right people and the right products, right? And the right team and so forth. And so here I was starting all over again. In fact, I had a joke. I tell people I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention. It was that bad. My head was spinning around. But we went to For Life and that changed our life. So Gabby, she comes from a position of where, she had a job. Well, I met her. In fact, she can kind of tell you real quick. I walked in and she sold me more than what I needed. That shows that she's a good salesperson. But anyhow, we met and she joined For Life with me and we built this together is what I'm saying. And so I've been very blessed to have traveled that journey with Gabby. I love listening to Gabby talk as well about the products of For Life. She bakes like tonight, she even made me a drink. She makes a great smoothies. She cooks, she makes cookies with the ProTF protein. She makes lip balm. She makes mouthwash, all kinds of stuff she makes with the For Life products. So I want Gabby to share a quick end of year. Thank you to everyone. And so, sweetie, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you. Oh, you're on mute. Let me unmute you here. There you go.
I'm unmuted. Thank you. I've really enjoyed everyone's, basically your stories. I mean, everyone here has an amazing story. And I am looking forward to listening to them because, I didn't know Jennifer's story. And it's impactful, Jennifer. You're amazing. You really are. I want to start up our Women Empowering Women group again. But you know what? We love having men in it. We love having that diversity. So we will make a special segment probably throughout the year for that. But I wanted to read a quote real quick because I love quotes. I love things like that motivate me. And sometimes people love that kind of motivation. So it's dreams weigh more than excuses. If your dreams are truly important to you, you won't make excuses for why you can't achieve them. If your dreams are important to you, you'll do whatever it takes to make them a reality. So let your dreams pull you away from those pesky excuses and nudge you into action. And, I hear it everywhere we travel, excuses. And for me, I sometimes wish we could stay a couple months at every country we visit, because I would basically, you have to dream big. And if you dream big, you tell me your dream and I'll say, no, dream bigger. Okay. Dream bigger. So whatever big is for you times 10. Okay. Yeah, that's big. So, and the reason is why I say this is I did have a 9-to-5 job when I met Dave. And I never, in my wildest dreams, as I've said before, ever thought that I would have an international business around the world with this company. This company has given us so much because we have to believe in ourselves before anyone can believe in us. And David and Bianca Lisenbeek believed in us, and corporate believed in us. And from then on, it's like a spark, it just explodes. So dream bigger, because if you have that in your head, you will not make excuses. I mean, why not be a gold or a platinum? You can do it. You have the tools, you have the apps, you have the product, you have the support, you have these Zoom calls, okay? Just dream big. And let's make 2023 the year where you rank and you rank and you rank. And that next convention we have in Utah, I want you to go on that stage with whatever goal you have, but just do it. Like I said, you have our support. And believe me, sometimes I feel that we want your success more than you do, because we see the potential in you. We see potential. We see, oh my gosh, I mean, these Zoom calls have so many great ideas. They have so many people that prepare to give us the messages that we need. And I don't have to tell you, but like I said, our products are amazing. And more, we need to let people know how amazing they are. We need them. We need them. I mean, the older we get, the more I feel personally, me, that when I start taking a certain product, I feel better. So, pick a favorite product, okay? And go to the gym and basically share your energy, share your protein. Just go out there and do it. What's the worst thing they can say is no. But no, in my experience, is no for now. It's not no for later. Okay, so just keep sharing the message. And with that, I want to wish you all a happy new year. Thank you, all of you, for being on this call. We love you. Thank you. Back to you, sweetie.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. I want to finish tonight by sharing a story. I wasn't planning on this, but I love storytelling. We are in a storytelling business. Understand that you all have a story. Every single one of you has a beginning. How this came into your life, how you learned about For Life, where, when, what were the circumstances. This is your journey, all right? Build upon that journey. Share that journey. Be proud, of this journey that you're on, this path that you're on towards your dreams, your goals, whether it be financial independence or buying a new car, whatever your dream or your goal is, here you can achieve it. So I want to finish tonight. We're going to be doing a toast in a minute, so get ready for our toast. I want to just tell you a little story about an old man, right? This old man became a billionaire with a B, a billionaire. Now, he did it in the oil business. He had oil wells in the state of Texas. And when he became a billionaire, he decided to have a big celebration. He invited family, friends, neighbors, business associates over to his mansion to celebrate. So the night of the party, everyone goes to his mansion. They're inside having a great time. They're mingling, talking, toasting, just having a really good time. And the old man stands up and he says, everybody, listen up. It is a beautiful night outside. There's a full moon. The stars are bright. There's a beautiful garden out there. Let's all move out in the backyard and enjoy the evening. And so everybody that's inside his mansion gets up and they all move out to the backyard. Well, all of a sudden they're out there mingling again and talking, toasting. And the old man walks over to the swimming pool. The lights were off and he reaches over and he turns the lights on. And he says, everybody, come over to the swimming pool here. Well, the entire crowd gets up to the swimming pool. And all of a sudden they look at the pool and they realize there's some crocodiles in the pool. And they're wondering, what is this? And the old man says, listen up, everybody. The first person that can swim across that there pool full of them there crocodiles, I will give you one of three things. If you can make it across alive, I will give you $1 million in cash if you'd like. Or I will give you one of my oil wells and you'll be financially set for the rest of your life because it will keep producing for you. Or if you're a man, I'll give you my daughter's hand in marriage and you can have my entire fortune. And as soon as he said that, all of a sudden there's a splash in the pool. And there's this guy in the pool and he just starts kicking and swimming like crazy. Water's going all over the place. And as soon as he starts to get to the other side, the crocodiles take off. Right when they're about to tear off his arms and legs, he makes it to the other side. He pushes himself out. He's huffing and puffing. He's all red. And the old man looks at him and says, I don't believe it. You did it. You made it across that pool full of them there crocodiles and you're alive. What'll it be? Do you want $1 million in cash? And the guy says, no. Oh, you want one of my oil wells so you can have producing income the rest of your life. And the man says, no. Oh, you want my daughter's hand in marriage so you can have my entire fortune. And the man says, no, I just want to know who the idiot is that pushed me in the pool. So here's the point with that, you guys. Every one of us that's here tonight, and everybody in For Life, frankly, was pushed in the pool by someone. And we need to thank that person that pushed us in the pool. Because here we are in this pool. We're in the For Life pool. The pool represents our opportunity here. All right? We're all in the pool together. Some people are better swimmers than others. And you know what? Some people get in the pool and they don't even know how to swim. But my question is, can they learn? Can anybody learn to swim? They might be afraid of water. All right? But they can learn to overcome that. You can learn to swim just like you can learn to do this business. Anybody can do it. All right? The crocodiles, they represent the negative naysayers out there, the dream stealers, the ones that are going to try to tell you, it doesn't work. Why are you doing that? You know, be careful. You might go to jail. It's a pyramid. You know, they don't understand. They don't know. And sometimes we listen to them. Don't pay attention to the crocodiles. If the man in the pool had stopped to look around at the crocodiles, what would have happened? He would have gotten chewed up. So just don't pay attention to the crocodiles. Stay focused on your goal, the other side. And when you get there, whether it's, you know, presidential, bronze, gold, platinum, whatever your goal is, you don't get out of the pool and walk away. You turn around and you help as many people as you can cross that pool. And that's what this is all about. So, you know, that's one of my favorite stories to share. Hope you all enjoyed it. You guys get your cups ready. We're going to have a little toast here. So I'm going to go ahead. It's going to get a little noisy, but I'm going to unmute you all. Again, we love you. We're grateful for all that you do to build the For Life family, build your teams. Let's do this together in 2023. Let's have fun doing it. Let's work hard. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. I've asked y'all to unmute. So let's have a toast. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy holidays. If
Happy
you're
New Year.
traveling.
New Year.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
One,
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. God bless everyone.
Thank you.
New Year.
Happy New Year's, everyone. We love y'all.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We love For Life.
Love you guys. Keep
Happy
going.
New
Keep
Year.
going.
Night.
We'll see you all next week.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year. God
Bye-bye.
bless you all.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Dave. Thank you,
Buddy.
Jennifer.
We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the
This is an event they can go to.
Hear it. Check it out. How we do it.
People want to be in this meeting. They want to be there because they want to be part of their community.
Dave got the opportunity on how it changed your life.
We wanted to work together.
We have to join forces.
It out. It's not just hot breath. No. We have a 5-star opportunity.
all the way from California, the rock star, Betsy Lopez. What's up, rockstar?
I have to do this.
Jose Lainez from the great state of Washington.
Are you ready? Because we're ready.
And I'm ready. And I'm ready.
Hi everyone, Dana Fortune here.
Because you never know. You might get a J. Michael Smith on your team who maybe didn't see the product and started Fortify, started Service. And that's even bigger because that goes aligns with purpose. So, thank you, Mr. J. Michael Smith. That was powerful. Can't wait.
I mean, we started off with 10 people, and I remember when I was gonna give up on Zoom, I was like, this thing's working. All of a sudden, it exploded. Now we have Jay calling, want to be a part, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, it finally came true. Like, we were noticed.
You know, we're in different parts of the nation, and I overheard in Europe, so that just gives me the chills. I'm so
Thank you, Dave and Gabby, for awesome Life supplements. We love it. Thank you.
Away from sunny state Florida, Mrs. Cindy Salazar. What's up, Rockstar?
Hey Omar, oh my god, I love your energy. It's Amy Arce. I am a teacher, principal, director.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me into the meeting today.
For the ado, Caroline, welcome to the stage. Everyone, virtual clap.
Euthanize Omar, Jersey boy, Omar Ridgemar.
All the way from Utah, the man of the hour, Mr. Nathan Larson. What's up, man?
Oh my gosh, what an introduction. Thank you so much.
It was really an awesome experience. I encourage you guys to make it your business to go to that next one. Thank you.
That was amazing because that's seeing like that the founders, they're there to serve, to help each other. And that was amazing seeing they have a big heart, and I don't know, I was just like crying because I was like, wow, that's amazing.
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.